This is one of the strangest houses in the world. A mansion that twists and turns like a labyrinth, with staircases that go nowhere, doors that open into solid walls, and hallways that seem designed to confuse not only the living but perhaps something else. The dead. Known today as the Winchester Mystery House, this sprawling home in San Jose, California, has become a legend of grief, superstition, and possible haunting. It is the story of Sarah Winchester, the woman who built a mansion to escape the spirits she believed were haunting her family. Sarah Lockwood Pardee was born in 1839 in New Haven, Connecticut. She was a bright, well-educated woman, and in 1862, she married William Wirt Winchester, the heir to the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. The Winchester rifle would soon be called the gun that won the West, its repeating action giving it deadly efficiency on battlefields and frontiers. The Winchester fortune grew enormously, but with it, Sarah's life grew darker. In 1866, she and William had a daughter, Annie, but Annie died only a few weeks later from a disease called marasmus, leaving Sarah devastated. She and William never had more children. Then, in 1881, William died of tuberculosis, leaving Sarah a widow at just 42 years old. When William passed, Sarah inherited around $20 million, worth hundreds of millions today, and a daily income of about $1,000. She was, by all accounts, one of the wealthiest women in America. But she was also deeply grieving. It was during this time that Sarah is said to have turned to spiritualism, a movement that was wildly popular in the late 19th century. Mediums and psychics claimed to communicate with the dead, and it was through one of these séances that Sarah supposedly received a chilling message. According to the legend, the medium told Sarah that her family was cursed. The spirits of every man, woman, and child killed by a Winchester rifle would haunt her forever. The only way to escape them, the medium warned, was to move west and build a house. Not just any house, but one that could never be finished. As long as Sarah kept building, the restless spirits would be appeased, and perhaps confused enough not to find her. If she stopped, the medium said she would die. Sarah took the warning seriously. In 1884, she left New Haven and traveled to California, eventually settling in the Santa Clara Valley. Near San Jose, she purchased an unfinished farmhouse on a large plot of land, and almost immediately construction began. From that moment until her death in 1922, the hammers never stopped. Carpenters worked around the clock, year after year, building room after room, hallway after hallway, stairway after stairway. Sarah Winchester poured her fortune into the house, spending the equivalent of nearly $1 billion in today's money. The result was a sprawling, baffling mansion. At its height, the house stood 7 stories tall, though earthquakes would later reduce it to 4. Still, it contained 160 rooms, 40 bedrooms, 2,000 doors, 10,000 windows, 47 stairways, 13 bathrooms, and 6 kitchens. The layout made no logical sense. Some staircases led straight into ceilings. Some doors opened onto brick walls. One famous door on the upper floor opened outward, to nothing but a deadly drop. Windows were built into floors. Skylights opened into other rooms. It was as though the house itself was meant to be a maze, a puzzle that no one could solve. Sarah herself was reclusive. She rarely spoke to outsiders and was almost never photographed after her move to California. But stories circulated among neighbors and workers. It was said she believed the spirits guided the house's design. Every night shortly after midnight, Sarah entered a small room known as the séance room. There, she would summon the spirits of the dead, asking them what she should build next. Blueprints were drawn with staircases looping in strange directions and doors opening into voids. Some said Sarah never slept in the same room 2 nights in a row, to confuse the spirits that might follow her. And there was symbolism everywhere. Sarah was obsessed with the number 13. Many of the mansion's windows contained 13 panes of glass. Chandeliers were altered to hold 13 candles. Staircases had 13 steps. Even her will was reportedly divided into 13 parts, each signed 13 times. To Sarah, these details were not decoration but protection. She believed the spirits demanded them. Visitors and workers in the house claimed to hear things they could not explain. Footsteps echoing in empty hallways, doors slamming shut on their own, a faint organ playing in the night. Some claimed to see figures drifting across staircases, shadows moving when no one was there. Cold spots appeared in random rooms and objects shifted by unseen hands. It was said Sarah herself sometimes felt these presences, and it was why she pressed on with construction, never allowing the work to stop. In 1906, the Great San Francisco earthquake struck, badly damaging the mansion. The top floors collapsed, trapping Sarah inside one of the rooms for several hours. When she was finally freed, she ordered much of the damaged section sealed off. To this day, portions of the house remain unfinished, with doors nailed shut and staircases abruptly ending. Sarah Winchester lived inside the mansion until her death in 1922, at the age of 83. She left behind not only one of the strangest houses ever built, but also a legend that continues to fascinate. The house, sprawling across 6 acres, became a tourist attraction soon after. Guides began sharing stories of Sarah's séances, of the curse of the Winchester rifle, and of the ghosts said to roam its halls. The name Winchester Mystery House was born. Today, the mansion is a historic landmark and one of California's most famous haunted locations. Tourists walk through its twisting corridors, climbing staircases that lead to nowhere, opening doors that reveal brick walls, or peering into rooms that feel unfinished, as though Sarah herself had just stepped out to plan the next addition. Many visitors report hearing whispers, footsteps, or feeling watched. Staff members have told of encountering figures in period clothing that vanish before their eyes. Skeptics argue the house is simply the product of Sarah's eccentric grief, not ghosts. They say her endless building was a way to distract herself from the pain of losing her husband and child. The strange design, they suggest, might have been Sarah's attempt at artistic expression, or the result of poor planning and constant changes. But for believers, the mansion is far more than eccentricity. It is a labyrinth of sorrow and fear, a place designed not for the living, but for the spirits of the dead. Whether Sarah Winchester was truly haunted by ghosts or by her own guilt, her house stands as a monument to obsession, a mansion that was never finished, never at peace, just like the woman who built it. To walk its halls is to step into a riddle with no answer, a puzzle built from grief, superstition, and perhaps something darker. The Winchester Mystery House remains one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. It is both a work of architecture and a ghost story made solid in wood and glass. And as long as it stands, the question lingers. Was Sarah Winchester a visionary, a woman cursed by the legacy of her fortune, or a widow haunted by the restless dead? Whatever the truth, her house continues to whisper in the dark, daring anyone to solve the mystery she left behind.